So we are one step closer to finally completing the very first Masterpiece Combiner from the MPG line. Today, we finally get to see some nice images of the next member of the Raiden Combiner team. This has been an ongoing thing since last year. We got all those teases back in 2019 from a Railway Story in the Sky exhibition about future Masterpiece Combiners coming. And then we finally got to see, after obviously the Big V kind of ruined everything, we finally got to see Shuki, the very first Masterpiece Combiner, in June of 2022, and then every member came afterwards just a couple months after that. And today, we are looking at the fifth of the six members of the Raiden Train Combiner team. Let's talk about the brand new member today, MPG-05 Seizan. The frickin' cool ass. I love the way he looks here. A Hachiko 485 200 series limited express electric train. Here in Canada, those were very, very, very common over here. So it's really cool to see those turned into a transformer. Granted, again, this is based off of the old Kojin Ono design from Diaclone, which was the Trainbots, and then later on was used in Headmasters as the Trainbots Raiden. And ironically enough, Kojin Ono, again, is designing the Masterpiece, along with a collaboration with Tomix, the train development group within Takara Tomy that does their HO scale train model stuff. So looking real good, and I like what I see. The only complaint that I have, really, and it's more so just because I've always felt that Masterpiece has always been about animation accuracy. And while I find the sculpt is really good, they really worked with what they had available at them. Might be a little backpacky for most people, but I think it really looks nice at the end of the day. The coloring choice, the more beige kind of color scheme. Now, Seizan in the animation kind of like bordered between a light yellow, if anything. And even the original toy kind of had like almost a yellow to beige, more so beige. And I think they're going more with that, leaning very heavily on the beige color scheme. Obviously, the veneering, the detail, the sculpting is much more animation accurate than even that of the original toy that we got back in '87, and of course the Diaclone one before that. But I still think it looks really good. I dig the alt mode. And again, it's all about the accessories and what it comes with, because it's always that kind of thing. So Seizan comes with two basic guns, a brand new gun called the Brain Laser Cannon, which is an exclusive gun to him. It was used in one episode of the show, so it's kind of like, I guess maybe an animation error turned into something interesting. And he also comes with the Light Sword, which is the sword that Raiden uses. Also an animation exclusive accessory that the original toy did not have, and he used that sword in episode 13 of Headmasters. So he could wield this sword on his own, but it's more intended to be used for Raiden in the combined mode, and it's the first time Raiden will be able to have his animation exclusive giant sword. So that's pretty hype stuff, looks really good. And of course it comes with the connector piece, and of course the two train tracks. From what I read online, it seems that the train pieces, the train track pieces, the one that comes with Getsue, the MPG-02, is going to be where the sword will be stored, and it's not going to be with Seizan. There was actually a mix-up of the train tracks, but that has not been confirmed, so I can't confirm that 100% yet, that this version won't also have a sword storage with the train accessory. We'll see what happens with that. So that being said, we're one step closer to this guy being complete. After this, it's going to be Kain, the final member, the MPG-06, which, judging by how these release dates have been, they seem to come out like every 3 to 4 months. This one is scheduled to be coming out September 2023. Obviously, even some of the other past members like MP3 Yukikaze is going to be February of this year. Suiken, which is MPG-04, is going to be June of this year. And then, of course, a couple months after that will be Seizan that we're talking about today in September. So if I had to take a guess, probably November, December, and then you'll have of this year. and we will finally have all our train bots complete, and that will be that. Pretty hype again. And this is an important occasion because he's going to make the right arm, and then we're going to be one step closer to the end. And then after that, then the question is, and this is a very important question, number one, how this is received, but even more so, what will the next Combiner team be? Because we're coming out of Menasor and how they kind of did that with Legacy. Hasbro's obviously and Takara are going to be looking at their situation and going, where do we go from here? Do we then try to do aerial bots? Do we try to do Devastator? Like, where do you go? Where do you think they would go? Because that's something that's very interesting. Clearly, by them doing the train bots this way, along with the fact that we're also going on an anniversary in Japan with the celebration of the railway system in that country, and they love their trains, there's a lot of reasons why they started with Raiden. But that being said, where do you think they'll go afterwards with this new imprint of the Transformers Masterpiece line with this MPG series? Do you think they'll go with that? Do you think maybe they'll go with something obscure again? Keep it in the Japanese market like it always is already. You know, maybe do Road Caesar, maybe do Lio Kaiser, maybe do, you know, really go weird and just do something like, man, I'm just turning my head here and trying to think of, you know, a Masterpiece God Neptune. I don't know. It's something where I'm really curious where they'll probably go with the very next one. Or they could just go Devastator, and, you know, that would be probably the most obvious choice for dual partnership and success. Let me know what you think. This is very interesting, and hopefully we'll talk about more with the MPG line because they are very great quality figures. I will give that. Yes, the choice of characters is probably obscure for most of the Transformer fandom, but again, if you're a train lover and if you love Masterpiece, this is something to pay attention to because it is going to be the future of the Masterpiece line when it comes to combiners outside of the third-party world. Let me know what you think. This is the Transformer Slag podcast with Proto Man. I'll talk to you tomorrow.